Welcome to Music with Mrs. Avery. I'd like to introduce you to the djembe. You found that this drum was from Mali in our last assignment when you were plotting your X and Y coordinates. And Mali is part of Africa. So the djembe is known as an African drum. And I thought we'd learn a little bit more about the djembe today. So the djembe is carved out of wood and it is a goblet shaped drum. Do you know what a goblet is? A goblet is a cup from the Renaissance period that kings and queens and royalty used to drink out of. You will see that the djembe has a head and there is no bottom on this drum. And the inside is completely hollow. So because there is no bottom on this drum, that means when you play the djembe, you can't place it on a table or the floor, because when you tap the head of the drum to create the sound, that sound would travel down the drum and just smack the table or the floor. So the djembe has to be held up when you play it or put on a djembe stand. So some people play it underneath of their arm, and then others play it between their knees, which I think is the easiest way to play it. So the bottom is not touching the ground. That sound can travel through the drum and out and travel to our ears. Now the djembe makes a few different timbres of sound depending on where you play on the head. So when you're using a flat hand and you tap the middle of the head, you get that thick boom sound. Kind of similar to what you would expect a drum to sound like. Now, what's really neat about the djembe is as you take your tap and move it towards the edge of the drum, it starts to sound like an aluminum or tin can type of sound. So listen. Pretty neat, huh? So djembe players can create really neat rhythmic patterns with several different timbres of sound to make them musically interesting. So I'm going to play a short rhythmic pattern for you to show you the different timbres that can be played during a rhythmic pattern. So this was the djembe from Africa. So the djembe, when it was first created a long time ago, was actually created as a communication tool. It was not created as a musical instrument. The people in Africa would use the drum to communicate with other people and other villages close by. And they would use it to warn them of predators in the area or other dangerous things, possibly weather changes and things like that. And then later on, they became a staple in their music. I'd like to share a book with you called The First Music, as told by Dylan Pritchett, illustrated by Aaron Bennett Banks. And this book was inspired by the sounds and rhythms from West Africa. This book was published by August House Publishers, Incorporated. In the beginning, the African forest had many sounds. Hyena yelped, owl hooted, buffalo groaned, parrot screeched, monkey chittered, crocodile snorted. Pa-da-da, patter, patter. Only the frogs were silent. Patter, datter, patter, patter, datter, patter. Suddenly a noise like thunder rolled through the air. Boom, 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 patter-da-boom. The animals stopped talking. Hyena peered over the grass. Buffalo raised his head from the stream. Parrot turned her head from side to side, looking for the noisemaker. Monkey leapt from tree to tree, following the sound. He found Elephant rubbing his back foot with his front one. Who made that loud noise? Monkey asked. Me, Elephant moaned. I stubbed my foot on this hollow log. Elephant started beating the log with his front foot. Boom! Pada-da-da-boom, pada-boom, pada-da-da-boom, pada-boom. Other animals began to gather around. I like that sound, said Elephant. He kept up the beat. Pada-da-da-boom, pada-boom, pada-da-da-boom, pada-boom. Monkey listened to the rhythm. I feel like moving, he said. Monkey began to sway back and forth. The leaves rustled as the branches rubbed together. Elephant pounded while Monkey danced. Such a pair. Pada-da-da-boom, pada-boom, pada-da-da-boom, pada-boom. Crocodile raised his body out of the water. Crane flew down and perched on Crocodile's back. Look at Monkey jumping up and down, Crocodile snorted. It looks like fun. It sounds like fun too, Crane crooned. Crane began rocking back and forth. Crocodile shifted his body. Crane lost her balance and slid. Her sharp claws tinkled over the scales on the crocodile's back. Skeedily, kee-kee-kee, skeedily, kee-kee-kee. Hey, that tickles, said Crocodile. Elephant beat on the log. Monkey danced. Crane played crocodile scales. Hyena yelped. Owl hooed. Buffalo bellowed. And parrot screeched along in rhythm. The frogs kept silent. Parrot flew over and landed next to them. Why don't you join in? She asked. We have short legs and cannot dance, King Frog replied. We have short hands and cannot play. There is nothing for us to do but watch and listen. Pada-da-da-boom, pada-boom, pada-da-da-boom, pada-boom. Skeedily, kee-kee-kee, skeedily, kee-kee-kee. One by one and two by two more animals gathered. Lioness groaned and moaned. Hawk slapped and flapped his wings. Together they played and swayed and danced and pranced. Pada-da-da-boom, pada-boom, pada-da-da-boom, pada-boom. The frogs remained silent. The animals danced and played the first day while the frogs watched. They pranced and swayed the second day, and the frogs listened. The third, fourth, fifth, and sixth days, they danced and played so hard, the earth shook. Except the frogs, who went to their pond to ponder. At dawn on the seventh day, all was quiet. The animals had decided to rest. They returned to their homes. Suddenly, from the pond, a new sound echoed through the forest. Reap, reap, ree, reap, reap, ree, reap, reap, ree. What is that? Crocodile asked. The animals went to the pond. There, gathered on a stage of lily pads, the frogs sang proudly. Reap, reap, Monkey said to King Frog. I thought frogs could only watch and listen. Someone's arms and legs may be too short to play or dance, but they can use their voices no matter how different they may sound, said Crane. I guess everyone has something to add when it comes to making music, King Frog croaked. And that is how the animals learn to make music together. Now, King Frog loves to sing so much, you can hear him practicing every morning. At night, he sings again, and every animal in the African forest helps keep the music alive. And oh, how sweet the sound when they perform together. Pat-a-da-da-boom, pat-a-boom, pat-a-pat-a-boom, pat-a-boom. Ski-diddly, kee-kee-kee, ski-diddly, kee-kee-kee. Reap, reap, ree, reap, reap, ree, reap, reap, ree. Pat-a-boom, boom. I hope that you enjoyed the story today and learning all about the djembe. Now please go into the Music Google Classroom and you can mark this assignment complete. There is no work to turn in this week. If you are missing any assignments from the previous weeks, this is your chance to get all caught up. Thanks for joining me.